think of Airbnb for cars. Now, initially, you don't think about it. So why do I need that? I have my own car. Well, where's the problem, right? So in emerging markets, the ratio of vehicles per household could be like zero point 0.1 vehicles per household. And in the US, this is more than two, right? So definitely there is a need on the demand side.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Zoomcar Holdings Chairman Yuri Levine. And Yuri, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, doing good. Thank you.
Good to have you along. Excited to learn a bit more about the company. You're an interesting company. Why don't you give us a bit of background?
So a little bit about myself. So people probably would know me as the founder of Waze and the driving app, and later on Move It, which is the Waze for public transportation. So a lot of mobility stuff. 2 billion users across the globe. And with Zoomcar, it's very interesting state of mind. Think of Airbnb for cars. Now, initially, you don't think about it. So why do I need that? I have my own car. Well, where's the problem, right? So in emerging markets, the ratio of vehicles per household could be like zero point 0.1 vehicles per household. And in the US, this is more than two, right? So definitely there is a need on the demand side. But if you think about your own car, you're using it 1 hour a day. Average in the US, 1 hour a day of using your car, 4% of the day. 96% of the time, it's actually doing absolutely nothing. And you can actually utilize, this is the most underutilized resource that you have. And you can utilize that and put it in a marketplace, Airbnb for cars. And actually, with the emerging markets, with the demand in the emerging market, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and you've seen success in a number of those emerging markets. Sort of talk to me about where you see your biggest operations.
So right now, the most significant operation is in India. And, in general, I would say in emerging markets, if you can make it in India, you can make it anywhere. That's the most complex market there is. And we actually have pretty nice traction there. We have about 40,000 vehicles on the platform, and we have about 10 million users already using the service or have used the service recently. And if you think about the size of the opportunity, there is 100 times room to grow just in India. And India is just the one emerging market, right?
Yeah, I was just reading on your website a report that you had out that about 91% of trips are short-term rentals. So it's really is starting to take big hold there.
Right. And it's a different use case, right? Because if you realize that, okay, wait a minute, if in India the number of cars per household is zero point 0.1 per household, then they're not commuting with cars, right? But they do need cars, right? Going on to event, going shopping, going to the weekend and so forth. And so what we usually see is about a couple of days use case. So not long term, not month, not even weeks, about 2 days.
Yuri, it seems that you've really sort of caught some hold as far as the revenues are concerned, because I was reading your most recent financials where it showed 8 quarters of profitability. So, can you talk to us a little bit about the growth plan for the company and where you see yourselves moving?
So the position of the company is in the market leadership position in India, right? And obviously we have indefinite room to grow there, right? If I'll tell you that the opportunity is 100 times bigger, it's even more than that. And we see the growth coming, number one, from India, and after that, other emerging markets. And still, this is going to be a long journey, right? So one of the things that you can look at the market capitalization of the company and tell me, wait a minute, this is embarrassing, and I agree, it is embarrassing. It means that there is only upside from here, and the good thing is that there is huge opportunity.
Yeah. Do you see the opportunity in the emerging markets only? Do you also feel there's some market in the US as well, or Canada? Like, where do you see sort of things going here in 26 and beyond?
So there is Turo in the U.S. market, and that is trying to do the same, but the use case is very different, right? So because the demand in India is way higher, and the availability of owning a car is very expensive in India relative to, if you would say, okay, how many months of wages we need in order to buy a Toyota Corolla, then in India you measure that in years. And this is one of the challenges, right? And so the result is that we made perfect sense.
And lastly, how do you find the cars? Is it just people joining in? And how do you get around like insurance and things like that?
So we address the issue of insurance through the same way that Uber does, or the same way that Turo does, right? And so we, in smaller markets, we have insurance company to insure us, and in larger markets, we simply assume their responsibility. So the result is that if you have large scale, then you can actually do it yourself. If you have smaller scale, and we are operating in India, for example, in 99 cities, right? So some of them obviously are bigger than the others, and this is how we operate.
Fascinating stuff, Yuri. Thanks so much for the update. Really appreciate it learning more about Zoomcar and what you're all about. And good luck with everything. We look forward to following your story. Very interesting one.
Thank you. Thank you. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Yuri Levine, he's the chairman of Zoomcar Holdings.